evening, everyone. It is an honor to speak to you all, fellow graduates, esteemed faculty, proud parents, and distinguished guests. My name, as many of you know, is Isaac Craig, and I am the salutatorian of our graduating class. Before I begin, there are a few people I want to quickly thank. Mom and Dad, thank you for keeping my hands off the oven and my feet off the anthills. Well, at least you tried. Thank you to all of my wonderful teachers who had to put up with me. Your patience and love has helped me to grow academically, but also to grow as a person. Mrs. Lanning, thank you for throwing me on stage when I was too shy to get up there myself. Mrs. Backer, thank you for volunteering me to join the 2023 chorus for LGPE, thereby awakening my love for chorus. Mr. Hinkle, thank you for being patient with me as I got used to the equipment in the shop. I'll make sure to not tell my parents about the one that almost killed me. Finally, I want to thank Mrs. Joy Phillips and Mrs. Peacock. Without their encouragement, and frankly, without them forcing me to, it would have taken me much longer to come out of my shell. Thank you all so much. To be honest, I struggled a lot with what I was going to say here. There are so many valuable lessons that I've learned throughout my time in high school, and sorting through them drove me insane. However, my close friend and enemy, Marlon Morales, if you would please stand.
Come on, Marlon. Do
Yes,
this.
that is okay.
Love you, Isaac!
Recently taught me a new perspective about love, and I wanted to share it with you all, which is code for ripping it off entirely. Now, when love is brought up, many tend to associate it with romantic love, relationships, marriage, etc. But love is so much more complex than that. Oxford Languages defines love as an intense feeling of deep affection. While this does apply to romantic affection, there are also other types. The ancient Greek language defines love in 4 different forms: eros, phileo, storge, and agape. Now, eros defines romantic love, but today I would like to focus on the last 3: phileo, storge, and agape. First, phileo. Phileo is defined as brotherly love or friendship love. This is the love that you have for your friends. You might buy them lunch, or maybe you pick them up from the side of the road when the rust bucket breaks down for the 47th time. I've experienced phileo love everywhere in this school. In my engineering course, everyone is always ready to help each other out, teaching one another about different machines and making sure that nobody meets God early. Kelton. In chorus, everyone is always encouraging one another, helping each other learn parts while teasing each other like family. Happy May 1st. In theater, everyone cheers for each other when someone fulfills a part of the role that they've been tirelessly working on. One of the best expressions of phileo love, however, is those little day-to-day things that most people don't notice. Remember the days when someone sat with you at lunch, or held a door open for you, or even bought you a drink from one of the vending machines? On some days, those small acts of kindness were the only thing holding me back from giving up on a day entirely. They are often the only source of strength in an otherwise miserable day. Those small boosts are what keep us going. Now on to storge. Storge is defined as family or communal love. It is the love that you have for those who hold as family, regardless of whether or not you are actually blood related to them. In my case, storge has been expressed in my relationship with my parents. They have been extremely supportive of me in my efforts in school. I remember back in my 5th grade year of school, I had this killer idea for a project. So I hate bread, right? Well, I love bread, don't get me wrong. But I tend to have a problem with biscuits for some reason. And I was thinking about bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. I got sick and tired of eating the filling out of the biscuit while eating the bread. So I figured, why have the bread in the first place? So I created a project centered around the idea of an egg sandwich with bacon as the bread. The morning of the presentation, I told my exhausted father that I needed a physical version of the sandwich. So after sighing so hard, I was physically knocked backwards. My father spent the next 40 minutes cooking a sandwich made of only bacon and eggs. Now, after going through all this effort, I brought the sandwich into my classroom. Within a minute of my presentation, I was completely shot down. My teacher taught me the obvious purpose of bread, which was to keep the grease off your fingers while you eat the sandwich. That was devastating to me, but the sandwich was delicious, one of the best I've ever had. Without my father's support, this project would have gotten the better of me, and on top of that, he gave me a killer sandwich to cry into. So, agape, to love unconditionally or sacrificially? Unconditionally, sacrificially. This is the toughest kind of love. It's the toughest to have and the toughest to break. A tough love. Take a second and think. Is there someone that you love unconditionally? They could spit on your shoe or sock you in the mouth and you would still love them. You might hate them, but you would still be there for them if it was life or death. This is the most interesting kind of love. It cannot be earned. It can only be given. It's pretty easy for me to know who I have agape for in life. I know because they never stop getting on my nerves, and yet I still choose to hang out with them time and time again. Just the other day, I spent a 40-minute car ride arguing with a close friend of mine, and yet we both left that car with nothing but goodwill towards one another. While agape love can be fun, there are other examples that are much more serious. There are many of us who have been hurt by people, and yet we can't help but love them. Although it is important to protect ourselves from the people who have hurt us, it is still important to hold on to that love. You don't have to like them, you just have to try to love them. As long as you continue to love them, there is always hope that they will come back changed. The day you give up on them, the hope is lost and the relationship is forever broken. So, now we know the types of love. What are we supposed to do with them? Well, show them, obviously. Take the way of love, for example. If you want to show a friend that you truly love them, then make a habit of doing something small for them. It can be the same thing every day or a different one each time. Regardless, these small acts of kindness go so much further than you could ever imagine. The same goes for Store Day and agape. You show love to those you love with actions fueled by love. Actions both big and small. But love is not only given, it is also received. This is why it's important to surround yourself with a network of people who love you just as you love them. In the words of Mrs. Miller, love establishes unity, a sense of connection with others. This connection allows you to grow into what you need to be, and it gives you a support system when things fall apart. A good support system is like a net. It catches you when you fall. Love gives you a sense of hope, something you can hold on to when everything else comes to nothing. Whether you tread carefully or charge headfirst into the next part of your life, I urge you, no, I beg you, cling to love. It makes things so much better down the line. And for those of you who are missing that support system, make one. Look around you. There are so many people to love, and so many who might already love you. No one is beyond being loved, and so many people are just waiting for someone to approach them and ask the simple question, how are you? That one sentence could start a lifelong friendship, a friendship that could lead you to places you never thought you could go. Showing love may be difficult at first, but it gets easier over time. Love is grown like a muscle. You exercise it day by day. Love as much as you can today and a little more tomorrow. Over time, you will find yourself able to love even those who most seem unlovable. And those people are often the ones who need love the most. To all our friends, both students and staff, thank you for your Phileo friendship love. To our families, thank you for your Store Day family love. And to all of you, strive for agape love so that you can reach the unreachable and open doors that others have closed long ago. I love you all, and it is an honor to have known you throughout our 4 years together in this school. I'm counting on all of you to spread the sharp light of love into this world full of hatred. No matter what, do not let the world's hatred overcome your love. Thank you all.